Hello and welcome. Let's do a reading and see what comes through. Spirit, please give us clear guided messages, anything of significance that might be helpful right now. Please help me tap into the energies that we are currently experiencing and the energy of anyone that will come across this video and need this message. Okay, so relationships are key to understanding ourselves in this world. The relationship with other people, our relationship with ourselves, our relationship with our parents, our partner, our children, our colleagues, our friends, our relationship with the environment, with the earth, with the spiritual realm. There is duality and polarity in this world, yin and yang energy, and everything is a reflection or projection. And romantic relationships or partnerships are significant in understanding our yin and yang energy, our masculine and feminine energy. I've been pulling cards quite frequently on soul connections, soul contracts recently, and we incarnate into a lifetime with soul contracts, and that can be karmic contracts or higher divine contracts, and this again doesn't have to be love. But like we have contracts with our children or our parents, the people that we meet in our life, they come into our lives for a reason, and understanding what lessons need to be learned helps us to move forward. So whatever lessons need to be learned in a relationship, some people come to support you and help you, some people come to teach you difficult lessons, some people are meant to be part of your life for your entire life and some not. Once the lesson is learned, the karmic contract ends, and then they either fall out of your life, or if they're meant to stay, the relationship will transform and elevate into something bigger, better, greater. So let's see what relationship dynamic wants to come through today. Okay, we have, I was told not to take these in reverse. Okay, so we have the Three of Pentacles, the Seven of Swords, we have the Ten of Swords and the Death card. Then we have the Tower and the Justice card. So we want to know what relationship dynamic this reading is for today. Okay, what I'm getting is that there is some relationship that requires people to work together. So this can be you and someone else, or one other person, or a number of people. I'm getting one other person. And someone in this dynamic has a way of operating in the world. So they try to, this is a card of trying to get away with something, right? So it's almost as if they've become accustomed to a certain way of showing up in the world, a certain way of communicating, a certain way of functioning. I'm just trying to get the words for what I'm getting. So they've had certain dynamics in relationships, which has then created this way of interacting and engaging with others. They might want to work together with other people, but it's almost like they're always anticipating the worst, or they move in such a way that they take away any weapons or any ammunition, anything that anyone might try to use against them. Possibly because they've had many betrayals in life, many painful situations. Possibly because people are always saying things to them that does not align with what they believe and who they are and what their truth is. Or people have always said hurtful things about this person or to this person. So this person has a very negative view of the world and people, or possibly themselves. And so it's almost like when they are working with someone, whether this is work, family relationships or dynamics, or a partner, or anyone really, there's always something that they're hiding, because they are trying to protect themselves from more betrayal and more hurt. And this is something that needs to transform, because when it's natural to protect yourself from things that might be harmful or painful, but when it becomes so subconscious that it just automatically plays out in every situation, scenario, relationship, every person, you might just sabotage this team effort here, because whatever role you're playing, if you're not playing open cards with these people, they can't fulfill their roles. And you can't adjust when things change, when things become difficult. You can't even really celebrate and enjoy the good things, because there's always this anticipation of things going wrong. I'm ready to leave if things go wrong. I'm keeping some cards close to my chest, and it's necessary in some instances, but not in every instance. And we can't operate on a program automatically on autopilot all the time. So I'm always going to be careful about what I say, and curate what I say to people so that I don't get triggered, I don't get hurt, I don't hurt them, I don't trigger them. When we do this, what will happen is we will constantly attract more of those people and those situations that require us to be in this sneaky type energy. And it might not be sneaky in the sense that I'm intentionally trying to steal, hurt, or do something negative. It's almost a learned response that the world is bad and you're in a team, but you're not fully being a team player. And this is something that must transform. You have to learn discernment through these situations, that yes, in certain instances I should be careful and cautious and not play open cards, but be able to trust the people that are actually working together and figure out how to do that, so that we can put an end to more and more of these painful situations and betrayals. And usually how this ends is there's a huge tower to bring the justice. Something major will happen to shake things up if we continue just acting in the same way on a loop with everyone, even with those that don't deserve, with those that it's safe to be open and honest with, those that it's safe to be vulnerable with, those that it's safe to give to. You're going to sabotage those relationships if you just do the same thing with everyone. So there comes a tower to bring balance, justice, and truth, so that we can, to shake things up so that we can change. Because not everybody deserves the same treatment. Not everyone deserves your energy, and some do. And it's not fair to the people that are actually on your team to be treated like they're the enemy, because there were so many enemies that you didn't see, you couldn't see, or you didn't protect yourself from, and now you're protecting yourself from everyone, and that causes an imbalance. We need to learn who to give to, who not to give to, when to give, when not to give, how much to give, when to stop, when we can be open and when we need to have boundaries, and how to do that in a way that is not going to be detrimental to everyone. Everything is fine. There's no point just going on pretending like everything is fine when we are walking through the world with all these swords in us that is still causing us pain, and just continuing operating in the same way, instead of taking the time to stop and remove the swords and heal from this, so that we can then be open to receiving love, be open to receiving supportive, healthy relationships, things that are good for us. Because if we keep pretending that everything is fine, then we just keep attracting more of the same. Okay, I don't want to make the readings too long, so let's get some guidance. Okay, I'm going to use the archetype cards. So what kind of energies, personality types, things should we be on the lookout for these types of painful relationships, people, situations? What would help us with this discernment? I'm going to take that one. Orphan, child, light attributes, independence based on learning to go it alone, conquering fear, surviving. Shadow attributes, feelings of abandonment that stifle maturation, seeking inappropriate surrogate families. Oh, these energies are always so hard to go into. So this is that abandonment wound. And it's not necessarily only for children that lost their parents or had absent parents, but even children who had parents that were present but not emotionally available or not supportive or whatever. And this is no shame on the parent. I'm a parent as well. It's difficult. Sometimes circumstances just create those situations. So the child learns to be really independent so that they can survive. But we cannot continue to operate in this way, because this was something you had to do when you needed to protect yourself, provide for yourself, survive. But now when you do have people that are emotionally available, that are physically present, that are supportive and kind and loving, You can't continue to operate so independently and be afraid to let down your guard and allow people to support you and provide for you and protect you and love you. It's like the orphan child now is adopted by a loving family, but they don't trust the family, and so they alienate themselves and push the family away. What else came through here? There's quite a lot here. I'm not going to take all of them. Just this one, destroyer. Light attributes, releasing what is potentially destructive, preparing for new life. Shadow attributes, intoxication with destruction, destructive power, destroying others' dreams or potential. So it's really funny that we had a tremor/earthquake where I am a few days ago, and then afterwards there was talk about volcanoes, and I was saying that tremor earthquake is sort of a release of pent up energy, whether that's anger, resentment, frustration, fear, whatever. So there's sort of like an eruption, and that's this tower. So something happens to shake things up, because that energy that is possibly destroying positive, good things in your life needs to be released. If you're not intentionally removing the pain, the things that are causing pain in your life, so that you can heal and feel safe within yourself, that you can open up in safe spaces and with safe relationships. So then often there's a tower that will forcefully remove the things that are destructive in your life, so that we don't continue to cause more destruction for ourselves and others. Okay, I'm going to take these two because they're standing out to me. The servant. Delight in serving others with a free and loving heart, or the shadow attribute is using the lack of money as an excuse not to move forward in life. There's always ways, and sometimes it's possible that we become accustomed to serving people by giving them money and doing things that require money, when it's possible that if you reach a point where you don't have the money to do certain things, it's probably because the universe is trying to show you that you are worthy of love, and you are still a good person, even if you can't financially contribute. Your worth is not based on how much money you have, and you can serve people in other ways. You can serve people by being a dependable friend that always lends an ear when things are difficult, or you can serve people by sharing your wisdom from the painful things that you've experienced. You can serve people by not perpetuating or encouraging harmful, destructive patterns, behaviors, and situations. You can serve people by protecting their mental health and their emotional health by not bringing the drama. You can be a loving parent even if you don't have the money thing shouldn't, it is a thing, but it shouldn't be the only thing. Like, your children might need more of your attention and your presence and your time instead of more toys, more clothes, more outings. They might need you to listen to the things that make them sad and angry. And that can go for any relationship. Money is not the only way that we contribute to society. There are other valuable things about who we are that we can contribute. And getting stuck on the money thing becomes an excuse after a while. Light attribute of the hermit seeks solitude to focus intently on inner life, serves personal creativity, and the shadow attribute is withdraws from society out of fear or negative judgment of others, refusing to help those in need. So this, any archetype has positive and negative attributes, and it is important that we acknowledge when we are acting from the shadow or the light attribute. Am I withdrawing from people because that's really the best thing to do? And in that time that I'm withdrawing, I am using that to find positivity and growth and optimism, find solutions, to tap into my creativity, to find inner peace? Or am I withdrawing as a means to punish someone when it is not warranted? Sometimes it's necessary to withdraw from people, places, and things because you've tried every other thing and you really have been in your light attribute and it's still not working. Sometimes you need to withdraw. But are you withdrawing because you just don't want to deal and face things and fix things? Or are you withdrawing so that there is space and time for things to settle or resolve? And there's no black and white here. It's not straightforward. You will know how it makes you feel when you are in that solitude or withdrawn from someone or something. Does it bring you peace? Or are you plagued by the situation even when you are withdrawn? When you are with people, do they bring you peace? Is it good? If you really tap in, you will be able to, and you should be able to, call yourself out when you are acting from your shadow or your light attribute. Okay, one more card to close out this reading. If this can obviously relate to many different dynamics, but if this was helpful, please like, follow, share, comment. It really helps me to keep this going so that I can tap into the energies and see what type of videos to keep doing or not doing. Please interact with the video. It's really helpful. You're very close to achieving your goal and show the world the real you. I feel like in this situation, you have probably been doing a lot of work, inner work, and even outer work. And it is going to yield a positive result. You are very close to achieving your goal. But it is important to be authentic and show the world the real you. Do not hide, hermit indefinitely, and curate who you are and how you show up, what your needs are, and then cry that it's never met. The right people will hear you if you are honest and vulnerable and sincere. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have you and your loved ones are safe. New moon in Cancer. This is a home and family type energy. I feel like you need to know that while you are doing a lot of inner work and shadow work and working on yourself, that is not in vain. And you might feel like your outer world and the practical things in your life needs all of your attention. But when you are doing all this inner work for yourself, it is going to be beneficial for everyone. And you will always know what needs to be done, and the universe will in some way provide you with what you need externally and practically while you are doing the inner work. And somehow you will find the balance between your outer self and your inner self, and doing all that inner work and taking care of your family as well. I'm going to end the reading there. Please let me know if it was helpful. Comment how this might relate to you, how it resonates, and if you would like more detailed readings like this one specifically, a follow-up reading on this type of dynamic specifically, and I will see you again in another video.